The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Go! Waiting on it, baby. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Producer Supreme.
There it is. Music to our ears. A Victory Monday here at the Star in Frisco.
Back in the win column.
Would you like to sing that, Everson? You're conducting the band.
Well, that's what happens when you're the legend of the game.
That's right, baby.
That's right.
That's right. That was good luck for him. Good luck for him. Don't you hate to lose when you're the legends of the game? Like, oh, this guy, here he comes again.
So they won it for the legend of the game.
They won it for me, baby.
There you
won
go.
it for me.
All right. And this is a Victory Monday edition of Mick Shots inside the SWBC podcast studio here at the Star in Frisco. What a difference a week makes.
Yes.
What a difference a winning field goal makes. Mm-hmm. And what a difference a backup quarterback makes.
And we can go on and on and on how many people made a difference in this game.
Yes, we can.
It was amazing.
Yes, we can.
You know, Mike mentioned after the game that they gave the game ball to Maher. I'm thinking I had about 6 game balls I needed to give out, and I don't even know if that would have covered it. But you know what? When they talk about next man up, this was next men up.
Yes.
Because they had a bunch of guys step up and play in this game.
And a few of those guys, they had to make up for some things from the previous week. So that's good, too. You know, the fact that you're able to rebound. You know, I don't like it when you continue to falter. But if you can rebound from it, I mean, that's what America's all about, you know? You improve on what you already know that you made mistakes on.
And they, you know.
I'm speaking of Armstrong.
Yes.
I'm speaking of one particular person.
Well, I mean, we can start there. Mm-hmm. That was his first multi-sack game of his career. Mm-hmm. Noah Brown, his first touchdown of his career.
Yeah, we'll go over that later.
Kind of a click there. We'll go over
that later. Bill doesn't know about that.
Even if it was late, but that's okay. Yeah, we will. Cooper Rush, the second start and second win of his career. I mean, it just went on and on. You had 2 young offensive linemen, Farniak's first start of his NFL career, and they did a nice job of protecting Rush. You know, the combination of Zeke and Pollard running the ball.
Did Terrence Steele bounce back?
And I thought Terrence Steele
Man, did you
really
see
bounced
Terrence
back.
Steele running down the field after Pollard was running his touchdown? I mean, if he would have just been about a tenth of a second slower, Steele was going to catch Pollard before he.
So it was Larry Allen-like?
It was Larry Allen-like. I don't know if you noticed it, but you could see as Pollard broke through, Steele was right behind him. Yeah, he's a little bit out of frame, but he was right behind him.
So if Dan Deerdorf was in the broadcast booth, he would have noticed that, and we would have
if Pollard would have slowed down, he could have got a block from Steele.
That's right.
And not landed at the
There was another more recent offensive lineman who had a similar moment like that. Remember Joe Looney doing the same thing?
Oh, that's right.
Running down the field.
See, that's a loony thing. That's a loony thing. That's why I liked it so much. And he wasn't the only one down there. I can't remember who the other lineman was, but Pollard was met. By the time he got up, Pollard was met by 2 offensive linemen.
Everybody's okay with C.D. Lamb as the number 1 receiver this week?
Another bounce back.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Absolutely. And you know,
and he was so wide open. There were times when I'm like, that ball needs to hurry up and get there.
Right.
But there were times when he was so open, he had to wait for the ball.
And I shouldn't bury the lead, but Parsons pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, we didn't know about that. Yeah,
Goodness gracious. That guy, he's relentless.
First time in NFL history that a player has 17 sacks in his first 18 career games.
And the stat began in 1982, and think of all the pass rushers that have come through since then.
Let's just say Lawrence Taylor. Just say Lawrence Taylor.
Well,
Derek Thomas.
Reggie White.
Derek Thomas.
I mean, go on and on.
And he was, through last week's game, through 17 games in his career, he was tied with 4 other players, the only players who had 15 or more sacks in their first 17 games in their career. And Joey Bosa was one of those on that list. Alden Smith, Javon Curse was one of those. I can't remember the others. But in fact, before the stat came out last night, I went, okay, let me go check these guys and go to Pro Football Reference. And sure enough, he's the only one with 17 in 18 games.
And when you look at the game, it wasn't just him. As I watched the game, their offensive line, the Bengals' offensive line, looked like the Cowboys' offensive line at the end of last year. 4-man pressure. Every time you look at the offensive line, there was the quarterback was being inundated.
And that was the offensive line they shored up.
Yes,
those are the guys they intend to play.
And you saw evidence of why the Cowboys chose Terrence Steele over L.C. Collins.
There's no doubt.
Oh,
yeah,
he's terrible.
From play number 1, you saw the defensive game plan. And we had talked about leading up to the game. We can't wait to see Michael Parsons against Lyle Collins.
And boy, they lined him up.
And from play number 1, he was lined up on that left side of the Dallas defense.
So is this a done deal? Is he just
that he's a defensive? I don't think so. I think this was
No,
he did.
Did he? I didn't go through the entire game again.
Towards the end of the game.
Okay.
But Anthony Barr played 61 snaps. So
Anthony Barr played. I was going to say, because a bunch of guys played every snap in the game. By the way. Donovan Wilson, Hooker, Brown, and Diggs, 70 snaps. Vander Esch, 63, and Barr, 61.
Right, and then Parsons was at
59.
Yeah.
But he came out.
Right.
Those couple plays, he kind of.
He had to have a blow at some point.
He digged his shin.
Yeah.
But here's what was taking place too. At some point, they had 4 down off defensive linemen and Parsons. So now they were starting to not only double team him. They were triple teaming him. They had the tight end over there next to Collins, and then they would motion, or I guess you could say he reset the running back to that side. Mm-hmm. So they had a double team and a chip going just in case.
Yeah.
How about those poor Bengals? They had to face T.J. Watt last week and Micah Parsons this week.
I hate for Joe Burrow who he's got to face next week.
Hey, this is status quo for Joe.
But some of that with Joe is he runs into some of those sacks.
Well, because he's trying to get away from the other
I know he's
sack.
trying to get away, but some of it is him extending plays and trying to buy some time himself. And so the fact that he had so many sacks last year and this year, some of that stuff he can reduce the number of sacks, and some of those sacks are not as hard hits on the quarterbacks as you think of sacks being.
Right.
Now, some of them are, but some of them, he's scrambling to get away, and he's actually in a running.
Sacks can be attributed to the entire offense, really.
Right.
Your guys are not getting open. I mean, I know he wants to throw it. You've got Chase. You've got Higgins. You've got Higgins.
Tyler Boyd.
You've got running backs out of the backfield who are very good receivers, and he pulls the ball down way too many times. Mm-hmm. There are times when I have seen guys like Manning, Eli, for one, they don't care about stats. They don't care about the numbers. They would throw a ball away and looks ugly as heck and save it for the next
Brady
play.
That's right.
Brady does the same thing. He'll easily throw away an ugly pass so we can get to the next play.
And that's the youthfulness. That's the youthfulness and experience of Burrow. He'll learn that over time.
And let's be real, Dak does that at times as well.
Right.
Gets a little desperate, like I want to make a play.
Right?
They're just stubborn. There you go.
Not only save a play, save yourself.
Save yourself.
He's already been sacked 13 times this year, and I knew last year 51. But if you counted the sacks in the playoffs, it was 70. 70.
Well, how about this? So compare that to the quarterback the Cowboys had on the field yesterday. And he doesn't have the game experience, but he is 28 years old. He's been in this league, and he has experience learning how to play quarterback, even if it's holding a clipboard at the same time.
One thing about experience, it tells you what not to do.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right.
Worst case scenarios can be avoided, and a lot of people don't realize that.
But there was one time the Cowboys had a 3-man rush. Parsons was one of them. They triple-teamed him, and he still broke through. He broke through the guard in the center. And it's like, my God. It is unbelievable. But you know what? And there was more. Think about what Anger did with his punts, right?
Nice.
And even one off the scoreboard that they couldn't detect. How could they not detect that? What were they looking at? The ball came straight down.
On the TV broadcast, it was after they had made the decision they didn't have the angle.
Yeah.
Then they showed an angle that depicted it.
It hit the S of the wind star.
That should not be a problem in finding the angle.
Everybody saw it. Why did they think everybody
just
was
like you have
this?
a pylon camera, you should have a camera.
Put a camera up there.
Not up there, but at least one.
Well, CBS finally had it after the decision was made.
See, but it should be automatic. It should be at the ready.
But don't you think that? I mean, everybody was like doing this. They weren't making that up, right?
I think the referees, and I told my son this, the referees, I think they're so enamored by Jerry's world.
They're not watching the ball.
I really don't think they're watching the game. I mean, there were certain things to where we don't need a replay for this. You should have seen it when it happened live. What are you doing? What is your job? The PI they tried to put on, I guess, personal foul on Van Der Esch. I mean, come on.
Were you watching?
Come on, man. Why would you even create that?
And the guy threw it from behind. Right?
So you have to now we have to unprove your truth. You see what I'm saying? That's difficult to do. Now you've already laid it out there. Now we have to defend ourselves on something that we never did.
You know, and the neutral zone on the punt, when I went back and looked at it, all he did was this. He didn't move forward. He just moved his head and brought it back. And they started pointing, and then the line person on McCarthy's side threw the flag, right? He threw his clipboard. He just I thought he was mad at the guy, right? And then I looked at it, and they announced it.
You thought he was mad at the player.
Yeah, the guy, yeah. And they announced it was Lawrence. Well, it wasn't 90, it was 50. Could have at least got that right. So how did you know? Did you see who did it? You know, if you got the wrong guy. Yeah, there was a couple of those things. But so I was going to mention Anger's punts got him out of a lot of problems. The only one got returned, right? And C.J. Goodwin slipped and they got down the sideline on him. And then my man Turpentine, I know it was only 14 yards, but he set him up for that last.
It was exciting.
It was that last possession. He got him out of trouble. Right?
Just ran out of room. He would have been right down that side.
If he had another 5 yards.
He had a bead on that defender, and I am going to outrun you. And once I get past you, I'm going to the house.
And I'm yelling at the TV, going, "That's my pick to click right there, my pick to click." He's going, "Come on, extend that field another 5 yards."
Well, since you brought that up, he texted me like, I think the game was about ready to start.
After the first touchdown, he texted you?
Or it was on Saturday.
First of all, I have the timeline here. Thank you.
Was it Saturday?
Yeah, you liars. God, you're such a liar, Spam.
After the first touchdown, Everson picked the click as Noah Brown.
I said Friday. 5:40 p.m.
Okay.
Cowboys 24-21. Noah Brown, that is, 2 touchdowns.
It was actually prior to the first touchdown. It was after a 4th down play that he texted that.
He was only 4 hours late.
That was that was after.
I know.
Yes.
Okay, so how about when we come back, let's set the tone for this Victory Monday.
Okay.
With an analysis of the decision that set the tone for a Victory Sunday at AT&T Stadium when Mick Shots continues in a moment.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it, they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Mick Shots.
K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys. From corporate homes to your home, have your roof checked by choice, not by chance. Call now, 214-225-4860, kpostcompany.com.
Okay, we all know the percentages of if you start the season 0-2, your chances of making the playoffs in the NFL go greatly down as compared to if you start the season 1-1, right?
Unless you're the 93 Cowboys.
Yep. Well, then there was extenuating circumstance there.
Like
where
Emmitt Smith holding out.
Yep,
yeah.
That's right.
Number one running back.
And I don't have the numbers at the ready here, and they probably will change now that it's a 17-game regular season anyway. But that winning that second game when you've lost the first game is very important. And I'll take it a step further. In the last 21 years, how many times have the Cowboys started a season 0-2? Going back to 2001.
It's been.
How many times have the Cowboys started a season 0-2?
Should I guess 0?
One time.
One time.
Yeah, one time.
2010.
One time in 2010.
Yes.
And the Cowboys that season, it was, mind you, a defending division champion Cowboys team from the 2009 season. Started the season 0-2. They lost their starting quarterback in the fourth game of the year, Tony Romo, and John Kitna came in. As you know, the Cowboys then started the season 1-7. And at the halfway point of the season, a coaching change was made. So I use that to preface what I'm about to say about a 4th-and-2 decision to start this game against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Boy, you set that up. Talk about loading a loaded question.
So you gotta put all your chips in, is what you're saying.
There you go. There you go. And Mickey Spagnuolo was not surprised in the least that Mike McCarthy decided to go for it on 4th-and-2 from his own 44 with a backup quarterback against the reigning AFC champion Bengals.
No, I wasn't. I thought, yeah, let's go. Now, what I was surprised by is 4th-and-2, and they throw a 17-yard pass to Noah Brown, and he came out of the slot, and it was a hell of a call and a hell of a pass and even a better catch, right?
I think with when you're talking about Brown and Rush, they have a lot of time together. So, we talked about it earlier, pick to click, but
and let me stop you right there, because somebody asked the question in the press conference. They asked Rush, they go, well, how much time did you get in practice this week to work with Noah Brown?
Yeah.
And I'm going, work with him this week? He's been working with him for 2 years.
That's right.
Ever
since Brown's been
back
here.
5 years.
Yeah.
Ever since Brown's been here, that's been his guy.
Second team quarterback, second
team. Come on,
yeah.
Why not? I mean, and you got a big target, and really, who else do you have left? CD's going to be doubled most of the time. This is the guy you go with. I thought it was just a no-brainer that he was going to be his major target for this game and even for that particular play.
He was probably more comfortable throwing to Noah Brown than anybody
I believe
on
that.
the roster.
I believe that.
And so the other part of the decision to go for it on 4th and 2 at the 44, we know how explosive this Cincinnati offense is. And this game, we talked about it last week, one of the most important things that has to happen for the Cowboys to win this game is they need to play from ahead in the game. They can't afford to get behind against this team.
Right.
And so I think that played a factor too. Not in that moment. McCarthy knew from the outset, and he probably told Cooper Rush that hey, we're going to be aggressive. We've got situations like this. We're going to go for it, whatever, because he knew they needed. And it also shows confidence in his quarterback. It shows confidence in his offense. It shows confidence in his defense, because what if you don't get it? He knew that his defense was good enough to withstand a short field to start the game.
Let me give you an example, and I always remember this. It was the 2009 playoff game at Minnesota. Minnesota was scoring 50, I don't know, they probably averaging 30 points a game. And I'm thinking, okay, you're on the road, you're in this darn dome, you better score touchdowns, right? And they had a 4th and short from, I don't know, it was somewhere around the 35, 40-yard line. And Wade Phillips chose to kick the field goal. And I'm going, 3 points are not going to help you beat the Vikings, right? And I don't remember, he might have missed it too. But even if you made it, you just left you got to score touchdowns against this team. You got to be aggressive, and they weren't. And then they got clobbered.
Well, with this defense that the Cowboys have, I think the bar is a little bit lower. I think with Cooper, just make sure and not make many mistakes.
Right.
No
That's right.
turnovers.
That's right.
As long as you don't put us in a bad position turnover-wise, this defense can really hold up. And after the first game, Nate comes in and talks to us all the time, and I'll share that with the people. Nate comes in and he says one thing: we have to play to our defense. And that's no other truer statement was spoken. You have a defense now, as long as you don't put them in precarious position. These guys can win games for you. At least hold off the momentum from the other team. And that's what they do. When I saw that defensive line yesterday, I hadn't seen that in a long time, to where just the whole offensive line was going backwards at all times. They were engulfed at all times by white and stars. And so that's what I like. That was evident that the offensive line was feeling a lot of pressure, didn't give up many passing yards or running yards. Let's just think about that. With this Cincinnati team, we held them to the points that we held them to and the yard production.
And first half of the game, Joe Mixon had 5 carries for 5 yards.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean, and for the game, he averaged 3 yards a carry.
Yeah.
They hit a couple runs the second half. This gave up 151 last week, 89 this week, and they were wanting to run the ball.
And this is a good running team.
And they almost went 2 tight ends as much as the Cowboys. As a matter of fact, they went 3 and brought in that big old 70 guy.
Yes, they did, and he was eligible.
Yeah,
and so
he was eligible to block. That's about it.
So back on the 4th and 2 for a second. It's not every game that the situation, the variables will be there that you want to go for it on 4th and 2 from your own 44. It just so happens in this particular game, for all the reasons that we're citing here, the stars aligned that, go ahead and take this risk.
Well, I think it's whatever when the scenario presents itself. Just don't run from it. You don't have to necessarily plan for it, but there are certain things that you have to do. Number one, we got to keep the ball out of their hands. And if we have to go for it on 4th and 2, then we're going to do it.
And prior to that, they had a run for 4, a run for 6. They tried to smoke screen the Lamb. It was 1 yard. Zeke went for 7. So it was like they were showing that they were kind of controlling the line of scrimmage.
We got to work on our bubble screens or whatever you call it. We got to work on that,
well,
man.
The guy out there needs to make that
He's
block.
got to make the block. Come on, man. What is going on here? I see everybody else making the block. The Packers did it. I think Tampa did it. Everybody can do the block but us. Come on.
So last week they had Schultz out there. He missed the block. This time they put Ferguson out there, and he missed the block.
Come on, man.
But yeah, Bill, you're right, and I think you just have to take into account a lot of these factors why you say, okay, I'm going for it. Not that I'm letting my hair down and I'm so desperate I got to go for it. Mm-hmm. I think he understood what they needed to do, and after they got the first down, they had a tight end screen to Schultz, right? And so they went down and scored a touchdown the first drive of the game after not scoring for 60 minutes.
They never got to a third down. I mean, it was after the fourth down conversion. I mean, it just started rolling. So,
and I knew that Cincinnati would make the halftime adjustment. They always do. You can't give up all those sacks and have your quarterback hit that many times and still go to the AFC Championship game, to the Super Bowl, unless you make adjustments at halftime. And they always were good at that.
And by the way, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in that first possession, 2 tight ends. We talked about it last week, right? All right, get the 2 tight ends out there. Let's, try to run the ball.
Yeah. Play to your defense.
And Jake Ferguson had 34 snaps on offense in this game.
He had 11 last week.
Yeah. All right. To that point, Stephen Jones on the Fan moments ago. One of the injury concerns the Cowboys have right now is Dalton Schultz. This is the latest from Stephen Jones. Overall, we feel pretty good about the injury situation. Schultz is the one that would be a question mark, but we'll see how everything comes back and how he feels today.
Well, he's supposed to get an MRI today. Now, and guys do this all the time. I always say this. The locker room was basically closed by the time I walked in there, and Zeke was in there and Schultz, and I asked Schultz, I said, so how you feeling? You okay? And he goes, oh, yeah, I'm good. And it's like, okay.
Never believe an athlete laying on the training table.
And he wasn't in a good mood either. So I figured, okay, something's hurt. So it sounds like, an MRI, and we'll see what happens. And, they only got 2 rookie tight ends behind them.
We got a guess. Do we have a guess?
Nate Newton is lurking outside the studio.
He's just looking through the window.
He got stuff to talk about.
Well, we'll get him in that last segment.
If he wants to come on the last segment, we'll let him on the last segment here.
I love it.
Except he can't get in the door without us opening.
Oh, that's what he's.
We're getting you in. We're getting you in.
Don't go anywhere, Nate.
Okay.
Hold on.
So then, to wrap up this segment, before we invite Nate Newton in for the last segment,
another one I wanted to bring up. We were talking about all the guys that Anthony Barr. That looked like the Anthony Barr they thought they were getting, right?
That's correct.
He was all over the place. I mean, that was amazing. Leighton Vander Esch looked like a rookie.
And you saw that guy? And you saw that guy?
Yes.
He was good.
And it shows the key.
Played, too.
It shows the key to the Anthony Barr signing.
Yes.
Because you can now use Micah Parsons how you want to use Micah Parsons.
It takes the load off.
And you can, in times, put 3 linebackers out there, but one of them's over there next to 90. Right now, who you doubling? And you got to keep a tight end in.
They'll go up against other opponents, maybe the Giants this week. I don't know.
Let me tell you, before we take a break, let me tell you something. D-Law is a very intelligent player. Mm-hmm. He knows the plays are coming before they come. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he's calling it out on the line of scrimmage. And there are certain times when he defers to his intellect as opposed to his physicality. And he just knifes inside and makes the play.
That tackle, the first possession, it was 2nd and 8, and he dropped Mixon. He just and he came across.
He's done that. He's done that more than a few times.
People don't understand how good he is against the run.
Yes.
I mean, he's strong and he's quick, and you're right. And he recognizes that stuff, right? Yes. So they just had so many guys step up in this game. So I titled my column going up on. I called it "All McCarthy's Men." Because there were so many guys that participated in big roles. When's the last time you think Donovan Wilson played every snap on defense?
Well, he showed you he was J-Ron before J-Ron got here.
And
let's be real. He was our guy.
Yeah,
he just hurt
exactly
because he was lighting people up 2 years ago.
We were in training camp.
The Bengals are sitting there going, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah, where'd he come from? Right?
They forgot about him.
And let's not forget the tackle Diggs made. The guy that supposedly doesn't want to tackle. Right. He saved the day.
He did.
That was going to be a first down.
He did.
They were never going to get the ball back.
He knew he did, yes.
And he made the tackle.
You look at the biggest plays in the game, and that one is right at the top of the list.
Right at the top of the list.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, all that stuff, it was amazing how many guys stepped up. And Dante Fowler, we thought he disappeared in training camp, right?
Wow.
Had a batted pass, knocked a fumble out.
Yes.
Everybody. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one game, and it doesn't solve all your problems.
But it does negate some BS that you had in your back pocket.
Very good.
And it does ensure the fact you're not going winless this season.
Boy, how low is our bar now?
I think.
How about just the emotion, the elation at the end of the game?
Yes.
I mean, that was cool.
That's what McCarthy in the locker room said. There's nothing like winning. You should have seen the joy from the players, the coaches.
I saw it from McCarthy.
You could see. I love the shots right at the end of the game.
Right at
the field goal goes through. And by the way, on the field goal, I'm sitting there. I'm watching it from home. I'm going. I said, "Oh, it's faded off." I couldn't tell that it went in.
Thank God for laces, right? Thank God for the proper placing of laces because it was headed this way and it took that left
It was
turn.
kind of going to the right.
It was going to the right, and
straightened itself out.
Baby.
I didn't see it straighten itself out.
Okay.
It veered.
I just saw it. I thought it was my golf shot.
It's on the other fairway.
It's in the woods
on the
over
other
here.
Fairway.
That's where I thought it was headed. It didn't redirect. But anyway, the elation on the faces. Cooper Rush and Kellen Moore hugging at the end of the game.
Cooper showing emotion.
That
guy.
And then when he came to the interview room, the first thing I don't know what he was asked, but at some point real early, he goes, "Yeah, it's always good to win." I'm going, "Come on, man, give me something."
No, his face was as red as his hair. He was so excited. Yeah.
What I like about the Kellen Moore and Cooper Rush, and Dak is so engaged in it too. All the quarterbacks. Is the dynamic of Kellen Moore was once a player in this league. It was Kellen Moore's dream to be in the position that Cooper Rush was in this game, and life turned out differently. And
the opportunity he would have gotten, he got hurt first.
Exactly, right, in 2016. Okay, so life took a different twist for him, and now he's in this role, and he can be there when a Cooper Rush comes in. I get goosebumps just talking about this, but Cooper Rush comes in, and he's there celebrating the moment with Cooper Rush. He understands what his lot in life is, which is a very good lot in life. And at the same time, he wanted to be there where Cooper Rush was.
Well, at the same time, he saw how screwed up his game plan was last week. Okay, and he
so that's why
a little bit elation and relief.
The reason he was smiling had nothing to do with Cooper Rush.
Dude, thank you, Cooper.
And you know what? Think about the guy that unearthed both of those guys. Another backup quarterback, Jason Garrett.
There you go.
Right?
Yep.
So
who won on Saturday? Because he's in the broadcast booth doing the Notre Dame game. And I was wondering, when's the last time a Notre Dame broadcaster went 0-2 to start his career? He was on the hot seat. Notre Dame came back and won that game. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we continue with more Mick shots in a moment.
And we'll get Nate in here.
Better get in here, Nate.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
Back to Mick Shots.
Limited tickets for the 2022 Dallas Cowboys season at AT&T Stadium are available now. Visit dallascowboys.com/tickets or SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing provider of AT&T Stadium.
All right, we're back with the final segment of Mick Shots. Bill Jones, Everson Walls, who used to be the star of this show, Mickey Spagnola. Now it's Nate Newton joining us live.
How you guys doing, man? Wow.
We spoke you up, man. We talked you up.
Yeah, I try to come early, and I be one, watch film, but I get here like 5 minutes too soon. So, yeah.
Who are you, Michael Parsons or somebody? What are you doing, man?
Hey, man.
Watching film still?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be the best leader that I can be, Wish First Nick would have called me. I wouldn't have turned him down. Yeah.
So what's your first take on this game?
Just nice. Just nice to see him get this win, second half on what we wanted it to be, but I'm telling you, this went a long way in helping your offensive line, and I wish we could, the first thing I always look at the end of a Cowboy game this year is the time of possession, and we got to switch that around if we want our defense to last.
Well, did you see what the time of possession in the second half was?
Well, when you give up a 19-play drive. They had the ball for almost 9 minutes.
Just stop them on third down. Right? I got tired of standing up and cheering on for third down. Give me a break.
But I understand what y'all saying. I promise you. There are too many more of them right there, boy. You talk about exhaustion set in.
Time of possession in the second half of the game was 20 minutes and 40 seconds for Cincinnati.
This drive lasted so long it took up my whole page.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All the way to here, and I had to go to the next page.
Mine is a little bit shorter than yours, so I had to go to the next page. I understand what you're saying, but we still have to find a way. If we have to just slow down our offense, walking in and out of the huddle, taking advantage because, the defense is the strength. I mean, Coach Kellen Moore did a better job of play calling. I think the offensive line executed well enough so he can continue down this road. We still got to get our left guard. I mean, he is a scrapper. But just trying to man up a guy, Matt's not going to be able to do that. If a guy gets on his edge,
like a DJ Reader in this game.
Yeah, I saw Biotis in the backfield a lot.
Yes,
I never really see a center in the backfield a lot.
But he can stay on his block.
Yes.
Better than the left guard.
Yes.
I mean, you can knock him back,
but
he's like a tick. He's like on a hound. He'll lock in and keep sucking off you. I hope that don't sound too bad.
No, you said it right.
And so, but whereas my left guard, he'll get tilted or he'll get powered through it. You saw, as the game going, and my left tackle got to know where his help coming from. I think Fournier came and gave a big bang on the guy and shot him straight inside of my left tackle. So he's got to know if he's going to get a chip, he's got to sit there square to see how this thing is going to play out.
There was one play I thought of you. It was they were 1st and 10 at the 25. It was in the fourth quarter. And Pollard hit that play, the running play to the right. So I just assumed that Steele and Martin caved in the line.
Right.
Well, what they did was they pulled Tyler Smith and Fournier to the right.
Yes.
They both got their blocks, and they opened that whole thing up.
And
I said, look at those guys run.
Same thing when they tossed that out to Tony. Your tight end had a nice seal block, and your center and your tackle got out of round. So it was just nice to see Coach Moore. That's the type creativity I look for.
And not just the play, the blocking, how it unfolded.
So I like that.
And Cincinnati is a good defense, right?
Yeah, they're very disciplined. And when I saw us get outside of them with the blocks down, pull around twice with Mick talking about, this is where you saw your talent with Tony Pollard, and you got him there. You saw your talent with Zeke, and you got him there. And we knew it was going to be tough sledding to Zeke, but we knew if we got outside with Pollard, you can loosen things up. And I heard y'all say, we got, when it's time to give a little praise, I give a little praise. Diggs, for 1 week, everybody thinks you're a tackler. Don't let that go away. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? I know this didn't,
we don't want to get in there too much,
we know this didn't bring back the LSU Bama game, but, hey, you did your thing.
We don't want to get in there too much as cornerback. Sorry.
Hey, if you give him enough praise for that, he'll like that. All week long, he's hearing what a great tackler he is.
It never worked with Walls, and it never worked with Deion Sanders. So.
And when you're talking about that defense, had it not been for 2 plays, they would have limited them to 11 yards. The roughing penalty on Barr, right? Mm-hmm. That prolonged that drive for a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 4th and 4 we talked about,
on the punt,
neutral thing on the punt, allowed that drive to go because they stopped them on that 3rd down before Barr hit him, and then they had stopped him on the 3rd down before they were punting on the neutral. That was 6 points. They really held him to 11 points.
Is he not a runner?
Who's that?
Burrow. Once he goes down the field.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he can run.
He can run.
So
I mean, he's
going down.
He's
going down. He didn't get hit in the head. He got hit as he's going down, like any other runner.
Oh, you're talking about on that play? Is he not a runner?
The penalty
yeah,
itself.
that's right. Yeah,
and they threw a flag on that
because he did not slide on that one, right?
He did not slide.
He went head first.
He went head first. He was going down, and he got hit as he was going down, like any other runner, and he didn't get hit in the head.
No.
So what's the flag for then?
I'm telling you.
He's a quarterback.
I watched games before that.
I know it.
That's right. You're right.
I mean, come on, man.
A lot of flags coming out on personal fouls for hitting the quarterback.
Even though he's a runner.
Even though he doesn't slide.
Yeah. It's like, but, oh well.
And we started getting into this. I just don't want this to be another hurdle that we have to clear. All right, now, we have to clear our own selves, worry about our own play calling, worry about our own big plays that we give up, worry about our own turnovers. Now we got to worry about, the referees.
They cut the penalties in half. They only had 5.
But they were some key penalties.
Yes, they were. And those were 2 of them. Yeah, you would have stopped them. 11 points.
That's it.
And they had to go for 2 to get that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the defense... if they can continue to play to the defense, right?
Play to the defense.
Play to.
That's it.
This was such a nice win, and then for us to not have kickers, whole training camp, we did not have kickers, and for this to happen, it's good. But it just reminds me, we got 2 more preseason games, and it's against the Giants and the Redskins. And then I'm serious because we got 2 preseason games because then. Coach Kellen and Coach Q should really know who their players are.
Yeah,
yes,
you
that's
get 4 games in. And
now you can really dial up what you need to dial up.
By the time you get to the range.
Parsons hurt.
So you got to get through these preseason games with a decent enough record where you haven't dug yourself a hole.
Yes, it's extra Raiders.
Yeah,
I said it all along. We play better when all 3 facets of the game show up. And with the kicking game showing up, they could have easily let us down. That field goal could have easily gone like your tee shot. They could have easily done that, but it didn't. There were things that happened in that game that showed the punter himself anger. I mean, the way he punted that ball Forget the one we kept talking about, hit the scoreboard. He was placing it
down on the 8-yard line.
Inside.
And you know what? If he can perfect that punt, because it got landed at the 17 where it went dead.
And one time
billiard shot.
He forced the guy to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't catch it, then it may go deeper inside the 10. So these are things to where we're cutting off their ability for their special teams to be effective, and ours is being effective.
And
for
they
us.
caught all the punts kicked to them also, by the way, even if
that was the big Parcells thing, man.
Yes, that's where I got it from.
Yeah.
You got to have all three in there because you don't want to make things harder for yourself. And, of course, to me, the fourth thing is always the penalties. We took care of all of that.
And Turpin caught that one backing up, and he ended up flipping over himself.
That's why I feel good about him catching punts.
Right?
Even on that one, I feel like he's going to catch it. He's a natural catcher of the football.
No, he's natural. The way he runs is instinctive. He sets up his blocks real well. He doesn't panic and makes the wrong move in space. And there's very little space off in there. And he works it well. The move that he made when he cut inside and tried to cut back outside to the left, man, if that guy doesn't catch him, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Absolutely.
The guy came, someone should have stayed on that block. If they would have stayed on him, he's gone. And
I just need for him to throw me just 2 9 routes, just any time during the game.
Right? I'm waiting for it.
Take off. You know
I'm waiting for it. Just let him go.
Well, they're smart.
Man. Yeah.
They're going to be waiting on him at the goal line.
Man. But anyway, it was a good game in the second half. Didn't bode well for our offense. But, you know, I will take this win. And if we can just get through these next 2 games, maybe a split, maybe win both, you should be all right. You should be all right. Now, we're asking a lot from our backup quarterback because they're going to have a book on him soon. And once they get a book on you, they're going to start diving in on you. So we'll see.
And I don't know if you guys saw this, but when the quarterbacks came out for warm-ups, Dak came running out with them.
Right.
And I was watching what he was doing. He was standing in the background, but he was palming the ball with every protective brace he had on, the surgery.
He's working on that strength on that thumb.
And my understanding, it's right down here. And what they were worried about is when they got pushed back.
Mickey, me and you finna go to war. I don't want to hear nothing about that.
They tore.
I don't want to hear
They
me and
tore.
you finna go
He
to
didn't
war.
tear the ligament.
La 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 la. I don't want to hear nothing about that. I really don't, man.
And I heard.
Why not, Nate? Why not?
Because this right now it's about Cooper Rush.
There you go.
That's right.
That's all it's about. And stop, Mickey. Stop.
You want Cooper to play the rest of the season?
That's like if we were on San Francisco.
Without any interruption. No mental
It's
interruption.
like if we're doing a Niners podcast right now, we're not talking Trey Lance anymore. We're talking Garoppolo.
You get to talk about him 2 days.
Yeah.
After that, no more him.
That's right.
And you
Because
know
he ain't
what?
coming back this year.
Bro, do they look intelligent or what?
Yeah.
Do the 49ers look intelligent?
It looks like a
Jimmy.
very
Jimmy.
good guaranteed $6 million.
Right.
What they guaranteed him.
All right, time to go. We can talk on and on.
Yeah,
Nate's going to keep talking on and on.
Next time we're going to bring him in earlier. That's what we're
Here
going
in just a little bit. Nate,
We're going to crash your show.
Do it, my friend. But just don't talk about Dak. Talk about Cooper. And not Cooper Kupp.
I heard he might be back sooner than later.
Oh, okay.
there
That
you go.
tease for
There you
tomorrow
go. Breaking news.
at noon here on Mick Shots.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?